Okay, I'm not a genius and I didn't spend over 6 hours a day studying, but I did score over 1500 on the SAT. No tutors, no burnout, and I'm gonna tell you exactly how I did it. Let's go. Here's what I realized pretty quickly. It's not about how much you study, it's about how you study. So I broke my prep down into 3 sections, reading, writing, which is basically grammar, and math. And now I'm going to explain what to do for each section. Start with writing because I feel like that is the only part of the test that you can like perfect. Like if you do exactly what I tell you, I can assure you, you can maybe even get a perfect score. So for this part, I recommend Erica Meltzer. She has this book called SAT Grammar, or no, I think Grammar for SAT. I'll mention it in the description so you can see it from there. Trust me, that's all you need. If you go through this book, I can assure you, you'll do really great. With grammar, I feel like people are always like, I know this, I already know that, which I'm one of those people. But this book really enlightened a few things for me. Because SAT grammar is a little bit different than school. So just maybe go through the book even once, maybe not even like, a deep dive into it. Just go through it page by page and you'll just see the results after you do that. Like you'll understand stuff so much more. Okay, now for reading. Reading is like that bit tough because it's really unpredictable. Like you can read every book there is for reading and still, get a question that's like mind-boggling. Like it happens. So even for this, I'll recommend Erica Meltzer's another book. I'll mention it in the description. Like I didn't go through this reading book like I did the grammar one because, like I said, you just need to do questions more, like understand why a question's answer is this, like why is it A, not B, not C. Like you'll understand it much more when you test yourself. So what I did for reading, I kept a mistakes log. Like whenever I did a question or test, I kept a log of what I did wrong and I wrote down exactly why the answer was this and not that. Like that will help you out a lot, trust me. In our vocabulary, which I am putting just under the reading section because I think I still have a notebook full of words and their meanings, because for me the only way I could remember a word was by writing it down. So maybe do that too. If you want to look at that notebook, because on my test exactly what I wrote down came. So maybe I got lucky or maybe I just found out the formula, I don't know. But if you want it, comment down below and I'll send it to you. I'll show you. I don't know how YouTube works. Finally, math. For math, there are so many books, so many websites. Like I was genuinely confused. And truth is, you can use anything for math. Like practice makes perfect. In math, that's the only advice you need. But I will recommend Chung, which is obviously a little bit more advanced than other books or other websites. But the thing is, so the format of the SAT has changed a lot. Like if you do well on the first part, the second part is like really hard. So if you do like other books or other websites, you'll do well on like maybe 90% of the test or even 99%. But for that like 1% or 10%, you need Chung, which is what worked for me too. Like a few questions on the test, I was like, there is no way I would know the answer to this unless I had done Chung. So do that. I really recommend it. And you'll get a lot of practice out of the book. Like it has so many questions and so many good questions. Like it really tells you exactly what the test is looking for. Even for math, I kept a mistakes log because sometimes in math, it's not that I didn't know this question, I don't know how to do this. It's sometimes just silly mistakes or like calculation or anything else. So when you write down your mistakes, you'll probably not make it again. So do that too, it'll help. Now for study plan. I studied like 3 to 4 hours max. Like that's max, okay? I'm not someone who can, just sit down and study. But what I did was I was very consistent with it. And for me, I really motivated myself, which you should do too. Like think of it like this. This is not just a test. It's like a way for you to go to college. Obviously, the SATs are not everything. Like don't be scared. But like it will not make your future, but it might help you out. So, think of it like that. And that really motivated me to be consistent and study. Even if it's just for 2 weeks, you still need to be consistent. And the reason for me that I only studied 2 weeks is because SAT for me was like a very late decision. Like it was out of nowhere. It was just like, let me just give it a try. Like, and which is why I was just left with 2 weeks. So if you think that, you know, you're late to the prep, or if you think, oh, I can't do this anymore, it's too late, that's totally fine. I can tell you, like, if you do exactly what I say in the video, you'll get a really good score. So don't worry, you know, be calm, be collected, and just focus on the studying instead of the worrying. I timed myself a lot because on the practice test, I noticed is that sometimes it's not that I didn't know a question or I couldn't do it. It was that I ran out of time. So don't, you know, spend too much time on one question and, you know, go crazy about it. Move on, and then come back to it if you have extra time. I took full length practice tests like every second day, which is a lot, but trust me, unless you test yourself, you wouldn't know. Like, practice tests are the only way to know where you are with your prep and where you can go. So do that a lot, especially when you have less time. Like, give a lot of tests so, you know, you can find out your weak spots and find out where you're making mistakes so you can focus on them more. Now, the books I mentioned before, you don't even have to buy them. Like, I didn't buy them. I just downloaded PDFs. But if you don't find the PDFs, comment down below and I'll just send it to you. You know, whenever I felt like, oh, I can't do this, I just go to YouTube and, like, you know, type how to get a 1500 plus on SAT or how to get a good score, which you did. So you're right on track. Good for you. I mean, there was one night after practice test, I remember I lost it. I cried and I cried and I cried because I didn't get exactly what I was hoping for. And it wasn't even that I didn't know the questions. I just psyched myself out and, you know, lost time. Like, I left out a lot of questions and it was just a bad day. But those days happen, so don't worry about it. If you, you know, get back on track, believe in yourself, you'll do it. You do not need to be insanely smart. Just, you know, believe in yourself. Find out your weak spots and fix them. And you don't get stuck in prep panic mode. Like, be calm and just do what you need to do. Make a system, track yourself, and just breathe. If you're stuck at like 1100 or 1400, whatever it is, don't panic. Most of it is just, you know, test strategy and knowing yourself. So just practice a lot and go through the books I mentioned. And remember, it's not about being perfect. It's about playing the game smart. If you're aiming for 1500 plus and this video helped you, please comment. And if you're stuck on something, let me know. I'll reply and help you out for sure. I'm free for the time being, like until June, I think, because college doesn't start until September. So if you need personalized help, let me know. I can do that for you too, and for free, of course. It's just I want to help out anybody who's going through the same things that I did. And remember, all of this I did under a month and still scored over 1500. So if you think you're late to the game, do not worry. It's not too late. So good luck. You've got this. I actually wrote it down so I don't forget what to say, which I often do. Okay. You can just do whatever.